Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. In today's exciting episode, I show you the work I've been doing on the rainbow raindrops jacket. It's so pretty.
It's perfect. Perfect jacket.
So I cut out these jackets a while ago, but I only ended just put them together and did all the hand stitching this month. And then of the four, I chose the rainbow raindrops to start beading. And I did an episode where I showed you the start of it. And right at the end of that episode, I started adding some of the blue, teal and green ones. And now I have added some, and in the previous episode, I showed you some gorgeous Christian Dior outfits from 2007. And the color combination before I put the blues and the ocean colors on really reminded me of that. So this is how it ended. I'd done quite a bit on one side, but not both. So then I went away and did loads of beading. And this is me evening it out. So I think there were 115 on one side, and then I sort of evened it out, and then I sort of had to go back and forth and add some more. And I also did a little bit on the sleeves, but as I'm looking at it now, it's still not, the back and the sides are still not done, but I'm chipping away at it. There are just so many. Well, I guess I have other jackets that have over 1,000 beads on them, and they took forever. This one takes forever because to attach a big sequin, you have to have 2 or 3 points where you anchor it. And you sort of have to make sure you punch the holes in the right spot. You have to attach it because obviously around the bust, it's going to curve, and around your hips, the jacket's going to curve. So because they're just that little bit too big, you sort of have to work out what can go where. And also it just takes forever because you have to have it on a flat surface, because they're just, when you bead with a bead, you just stitch it on and then stitch it on again. But with a sequin, you sort of have to hold everything in. I know when I did the cactus flower jacket, oh my goodness, it was so frustrating. This is me just showing you that, yes, the back is still not done. And further on, you'll see that I have actually started doing the back of the sleeves. But I'm pretty proud of the colour distribution too. I've been rummaging around in my boxes of beads, and I have not been able to locate the metallic avocado coloured ones, which is irking me because there's a couple on the back that would look absolutely perfect, like the emerald green doesn't suit it, and I've got these lighter green ones. This is me showing you that I'm chipping away at the sequins, but I still have a lot of them. I do have the gold ones, so that would look nice with the avocado, but yeah, the avocado ones would just be perfect, and I have so few of them that I couldn't really use them on anything else. So this is the perfect project for them. I'm very tempted to just leave those spots blank until I can find the avocado ones. So maybe I'll do that. I wish I'd pinned this jacket together and put it on the mannequin sooner. See how the dots sort of look like they're in lines of dots at some point on the sort of up top of the front on one side? That really annoys me. If I'd pinned it all together, which takes a long time, and put it on the mannequin, I feel like I would have noticed that earlier. I didn't notice it until I was taking the photos for the thumbnail, like the cover of the video, and I looked at it and I was like, why do they look like that? Because in real life, you can't really see the lines, but on the footage, it's all I can see, these lines of brightly coloured dots. So I don't know what I'll do to obscure that, but I'll have to do something. Anyway, so I neatened up all my remaining sequins, and I got out some more of the teal ones. And so I've got large teal, regular teal, well, they're both large and super large. And then I also had some ones that are sort of a dark blue, sort of indigo blue. And yeah, because I was running out of the purple ones. And then the darker blue, when you put them on a purple spot, they look purple, which is very cool. Then I was kind of over doing the spots because you sort of have to work out, if you've got green thread, you have to work out where you're going to use the green ones. And it's like doing join the dots, but you can't see the thread. So the whole point is that you never know that which colour thread is being used. So it's supposed to look really easy, but it's very difficult. Like, you can't just use one colour thread for everything, because if you used yellow, it would look ridiculous on the blue. Like, it would just look like white dots. And you can't use the dark colours on the light sequins because, again, it would look like black dots, and it would totally take away from the effect of just all these raindrop colours. So anyway, I took time away from doing the spots, join the dots puzzle, and I did the feature on the back, and I just did the outline of it. And then I was like, okay, that's enough of a break. I'll get back to doing more of the spots, because the spots, it's taking forever. I thought this would be I always do this. I thought this would be a relatively quick jacket because there's only a few hundred sequin on here because they're so big, and you only have to anchor them with a couple of beads. Like, compared to a jacket with 1,000 beads on it, you would think that a couple of hundred wouldn't take as long, but I'm just using 6 different types of threads, and I'm using double thread, so it's actually 12 different types of threads. And then I've got some other colours as well. See how the avocado ones is really, really pretty? I do think I'll leave them blank until I find those avocado sequins. I just think they'd be perfect. They're metallic and they've got they're just really pretty. And they wouldn't go with anything else. So I think I'll leave space for them on the back and the sleeves of this one. So now that I'd done the outline of the red feature on the back, then I decided it was time to go back to do more of the rainbow raindrops in the various colours. Oh, I had to stop and do the video because I obviously didn't have enough to do a video on the rainbow raindrops jacket. So I was looking at bolero patterns. I was like, okay, we'll do a video on this. There are some really, really cute ones. And there was also a nice Chanel jacket that I might try. Anyway, this section here looks like Sully from Monsters Inc. in mauve and aqua. It's so cute. I like the way the back of the jacket is more groups of colours, whereas the front is just straight up all mix of colours. So if I had my time again, I would do groups of different colours. I think that's more visually interesting. Anyway, so it just so happened that that's the way the fabric was. So I would have had to stare at the fabric for a long time and work out that there were sort of groups of different colours and sort of cut out the pieces very strategically, which I did not do. But if I have my time again, I would definitely consider doing. So here I am slowly filling in the red feature on the back, and it's taking forever, but you just sort of fill it in. You do every second bead and then you go back and you do the one in between. That's how you sort of get the coverage that you want, but you also make it strong enough to be wearable. So yes, I'm just slowly filling that in. Oh, and when you do beading work, this may seem messy to you if you're not familiar with doing much beading or embellishment. Don't cut the tail ends of when you tie a knot and then start on. I know it seems like really, really messy if you leave the long thread and you don't cut it down, but if you leave it long, then it doesn't untie itself in the next decade or so while you're wearing it, because obviously beads are heavy and they can pull. But if you leave the long string, it just helps the knot anchor itself, which might sound stupid, But as someone who has worn their own embroidery and beading work for decades, that is what works for me. I did a beading tutorial video about 6 months ago now. There's a link in the description box below where I explain the whole thing. But basically, you have to focus on not ever twisting your threads on the back and keeping it as clean as possible. But the little tails, you have to just learn to ignore them. You can't just cut them and go, look, it's clean now. It's got to be clean in a... Good Lord, I just went on a rant. The beading tutorial video I explain it there. But basically, when you wear a jacket, obviously, the lining presses against all the threads on the inside. So you just want them nice and flush against the fabric, the back of the structural layer, and not too much mess or double crossing of threads and things like that. Okay, break's over. I am now going to go back and finish this red triangle. Well, at least do some more of it. So this is the last part. I did all of that video and now this is the last part of the footage. Spoiler alert, I do finish the red triangle, but I do not finish the entire beading on the whole jacket. So as you can see, I pinned the front. I sort of very, very carefully rolled up the front halves and pinned them with these giant hat pin sized pins in so that I could just work on the back of it. And they didn't sort of fall down because the whole of the front is beaded, it's heavier than the back. And when I lean it over the back of my workbench to keep it out of the way, it sort of pulls down. So I ended up having to carefully roll it because it's so three-dimensional. I had to sort of roll it up and pin it out of the way. So I just sort of keep carefully adding and adding just in layers and layers. It takes forever, but it's better than just doing all the big beads all at once. So and I really love this section, the aqua and blue section. I've got a couple of quilting cottons that are aqua and purple, like Sully from Monsters Inc. And I've got some purple and aqua beads. So I think I'm definitely going to make a Sully jumper with it, like a hot pink triangle on the back, because there's this bit in the movie where Sully thinks he's finally taken Boo back to where she lives, but then he walks away and she's on his back. It's so cute. And it's actually the cover of my phone. What's the picture called on the... Anyway, it's that on my phone. And so I'm adding more and adding more. It's been really fun working on a rainbow jacket because normally I'm just working with one colour for, days or weeks on end. And this one, there's just so much colour and they're all in little jars besides. So I have this shelving, so I'm thinking of sort of moving my workbench over a bit, putting some shelves up against the wall, sort of beside the sideboard where I put the mannequin, and just putting jars of beads there. We will see. Anyway, so I finally finished the whole of the back, and now it is time to add more of the sequins. So there's still the whole of, a lot of the back and a lot of the sleeves to go. So yes, time to do more of that work. And I think I've added some more here. See, I've done a lot of the blue. I think I did a few strands of light blue first and used up all the light blue sequins, both on the back and then on this sleeve here. There are a couple of light blue raindrops, so I used them on that. And then I did some more at the top as well. Then I changed threads and I added some emerald green and dark blue and some tealy blue as well. So you can sort of see, and this is the end. This is me showing you there's still the front looks the same because I haven't really added more to the front since the last time you saw it. I think there might be more on the shoulder, like the left side, so the right side of the jacket. There might be a few more on the shoulder there. I think there was a bit of a gap. And the sleeves have more on them, although they're still pretty gappy. And the back definitely has more on it than last time you saw it on the mannequin. And I think the triangle turned out amazing. It's a little bit big and it's definitely lower than I usually do it. So it's sort of sitting like if I lift my arm up, like it will be sort of on my shoulder blade and sort of underneath it, rather than normally it's sort of above and on top of the shoulder blade. So I don't know. And I also think it's probably a bit big, just a little bit. I like this. I like it for this one. I think it suits with these big blobs of colour sequins. But I think in subsequent jackets I will... Oh, and when I was rooting, I'll make the triangle smaller. And when I was rooting around trying to find those avocado green metallic sequins, I found these pineapple coloured ones, loads of them, which makes me think I didn't find all the sequins. So there may be another jacket like this. Well, not exactly like this. I would like to do one in groups of colour. I think that would be amazing. But also I kind of want to do one felt jacket in each colour. So one with loads of different types of yellow all over the jacket, one with loads of different types of green all over the jacket. So maybe I'll save them for that, because if you add sequins to a beaded jacket, then the all over weight of the jacket is reduced, because sequins are relatively so much lighter. But they do add a good weight to the sleeves. So I'm still going to add, like in between the big sequins, I'm going to add these smaller ones. I get out a big sequin and a folder big sequin, so you can see relative, like the big sequins are very big and the standard size ones are, I think they're 8mm or 6mm. I think they're 8mm. So the size of one of your middle fingernails probably. And yeah, so in between, once I've finally finished all the big colourful sequins, I'm going to add some of those smaller ones with just a clear bead on top, so that the whole of the jacket will be sparkly and shimmery, not just the bits where the coloured dots are. It will also add more weight to... I think the sleeves still need more weight. The torso is fine, but the sleeves definitely need more weight. So that's what it's looking like at the moment. It's not finished, but it's not far from being finished. I feel like you get a good idea of what it's going to be like. The sleeves aren't going to be as sticky outy. Yes, that is definitely the technical term. So once I finish the big beads, then I think I'll just see what the sleeves look like then. And if they still need more weight, I might add a few cut glass clear beads on the edges of the sleeves, and then all over the jacket will be those smaller transparent sort of clear with a slight yellow tinge, smaller regular size sequins. So they do, because you bead them on, you anchor them with a seed bead, you do end up putting quite a lot of glass beads on, just because they are small and light, but there's so many of them. So it will add a little bit of weight, but maybe not enough because they're such big sleeves. So yeah, maybe a few choice clear glass beads as well. But all in all, this is just an amazing rainbow of a jacket. It's very different. Like, it's the same exact pattern as the grey flower jacket. There she is. Wow, this jacket is so amazing. I haven't looked at it in a minute or two. But yeah, they're the same exact pattern. So the sleeves will weigh down a bit once they have just a smidge more beading on them. But yeah, the two jackets are so different. I mean, sort of same silhouette, apart from all the chandelier beading I mean, this would have looked cute with chandelier beading, and it would have looked like raindrops splashing on the ground. But I don't know. I still feel like it would have been mixing two genres. I like that it's just rainbow raindrops, like blobs of colour. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you've been inspired to make something bright and colourful for yourself. Thanks again, and happy sewing.